Hi, I'm Derp and welcome to Fireteam's Derp's YouTube channel. Today we're going to be doing the video review that I promised of the AGM Machining D.E.R.P, which is an MG-42. Cool. Long day. So I recently got this. I've opened it up, as you can see. I've had a little look just to make sure everything's good and everything's inside there. After all, I've heard a few things about sometimes the magazine can be a bit broke, so I like to make sure that's good. But no, we're good. So I've decided to show you today basically how to assemble it, what it looks like, just some general ins and outs, and see if you perhaps want to get your own one. So I got this from Airsoft World. It's all in all with the battery and the charger extra for about £517, and it was a fair good price. But on looking from what I've seen so far, it is a very elegant weapon. So touch up on the real gun. The Maschinengewehr was developed in 1942 by the German army. It was a replacement to the MG-42, which was developed as the support weapon for the German infantry. Now, it was a gun that was probably beyond its era at that time. It was much faster, more accurate, more reliable, and this is both the MG-42 and the 42. It was much lighter than the Bar and the Vickers and a lot of the Allied support weapons they had at that time. So this gun was definitely much more advanced than it had. So the MG-42, what that was a replacement to the MG-34, developed, funnily enough, in 1942. And basically, one of the biggest changes were that it was a stamped steel weapon. Now, unlike the MG-34, which was what was machine pressed, lots of machines were worked in, and while the MG-34 was a lovely gun, it was a lot longer to produce, and at times it could be prone to flaws. Now, the MG-42 was definitely not prone to flaws. It had its own problems at times, but it was stamped steel. It was much cheaper, faster, and generally more efficient to produce. But one thing it didn't change, and that was the fire rate. These guns were insane, up to 1,400 to 1,500 rounds per minute. Basically, there was a reason they called it Hitler's buzzsaw, because it buzzed and it definitely was sawed down a lot of infantry that got in its way. So much so that American infantry were taught to charge it when either the gun crew was reloading, or, as you'll see, the barrel had to be replaced, because these guns would go for a lot of rounds. The barrel would definitely heat up, and obviously you would have to replace it. So let's just quickly open up here and see what we've got. So let me just take the lid off this and put that to one side. Now, one thing I haven't put inside is the ramrod, which you use to obviously take out BBs if they get stuck in the barrel. I've actually misplaced that, but obviously you can get them cheap and cheerful, so don't really worry. They come with your instruction manual. It comes with, all the bits you need to know, the internal workings, how to disassemble probably every single part of this gun, and obviously some lovely instructions about not shooting dogs in the face, and that's always a key important part. So we'll move this to one side. Lovely foam packaging. This gun is very lovely packaged. As we remove it again, as you can see, it's all packed tightly in here. It looks lovely, it feels lovely, and if you're having to get this ordered online and you're getting it delivered to your house, definitely don't expect a lot of wear and tear on it, because it's definitely locked down tightly. So we'll start with just some of the basics. Some cheapy BBs. Don't put these in here because you'll probably break the gun. What else we got in here? Cheapo battery. Use it if you wish, or maybe another gun, but I wouldn't recommend it. Again, cheap Chinese. Don't expect anything good out of it. Again, cheap charger. Don't use it. Probably get your own one. So once with the cheap parts out of the way, this is another key thing. This, it may look important and unimportant, but you don't want to lose this. This is your loading tray. I'll show you how this is used, but definitely try not to lose this. I lost this when I first got the gun, and I regretted that. So what have we got in this? We've got our gun, our bipod, our magazine, our stock, and our charging handle. So just we'll start with the gun. That's the most important thing. So like I said, very lovely packaged. Very well done. It's nice and secure in there. Don't expect it to come around. And one thing I do actually like, just a quick thing, is the way they've sectioned off each of these foam pieces. So it's almost like it's teasing you every time you take off each part. You're slowly getting towards what you're looking for. Each part comes off and you're seeing it. And there we go, in all its glory. There he is. We'll take this out now. Oh yeah, bugger. This is the main area of the MG-42, and for its size, it's pretty light. It's a light sort of steel, stamped steel. So it's nothing too heavy for the size of it at least. So naturally this is your top area, and then here's your hatch for your barrel. So what else we got in here? We just pop that there. Well, we've got the bipod. Lovely folding and folding out. To change the size of it, you just twist this and you can see it's beginning to open up, and that's for obviously different areas, you know, bits of terrain that you need to put it on. So we'll just close this up again, let's spin it around like a little helicopter. There we are. And here we go. So what we do is, if you look here, you've got two separate parts. You've got a bit here, you've got a bit here. And you can attach it here and you can attach it here. If you attach it here, it folds in this way. If you put it on here, it folds in that way. So we're going to put it on here, and then we're going to fold it in for now. So, see, it has a little folding bit. You press this in, it extends into the... So we put it in, well, that side, the non extending bit to go into this side. Apologies for that, let me just do that now. There we go, that's much better, and there you go. So once it goes into the hole, it should just stay in place. And there we go. So, put that there now. What we've got next is we've got our charging handle. You want to put the charging handle on before you put the stock in, and the reason that is because it just makes it a lot easier and a lot quicker to put on. The charging handle doesn't do anything, it's more of an aesthetic look, but it's a bit of a problem to put on. I kind of struggled when I looked at some videos how to do it, because it did look a bit confusing, and there's nothing on the manual that tells you actually how to do it, which I thought was a bit problematic. So if you notice, it's a sort of flat straight line edge, and what you want to do is you want to place it in. You'll see a little lip that sticks out here. You'll slide it in, bring it up to hear that click, and it's pressed down. Once it's pressed down, you just start pushing it in, press it in, and you lock it in place. And that's you. So what we do is, if we've done this right, first time, twist it on one of the ways. I think it's this way. We'll find out now. You put it in, side on, and then twist. You should hear that click. I think that was a click. And that lets you know that it's in place. So now that that's in the ground there, it's on place. There's a release hatch here if you ever need to take it out to get the battery. Just under there. So that's good. And now we can attach. Oh, no we can't, because it just came out again. Oh. Now we can attach this, which is the magazine. This takes 2,500 BBs at best. It takes 4AA batteries if you're British. I'm not sure how it is in Europe, so I can't help anyone if it's European or American. To open the not the magazine hatch. Yes, it is the magazine hatch. Probably saying that wrong. Please forgive me. What you want to do is you want to press this in and pull it up. And now we have access. And this is where this comes in. Like I said, you want to pop that in there. There's a little hole, there's a little one bit, you just want to lip it in, like so. And this is where this gets complicated, because now there's a little magazine bit here, you want to press it, pull it down, and what you'll reveal is a small little hatch here. Now, it might be a bit awkward, you might have to use something narrow just to get in there and pull it out, like so. Once you've got it like that, you simply press, push it in again, lock it in place. Now to get it onto the magazine, there's a little hatched lip there, and what you want to do is you want to attach it to the opposite lip and lock it in place, and then this basically just latches on. So we'll do that now. So we lock it in, bring it forward, press it in, and there you go. We then slide the springed BB feeder into the boxed feeder, and that should lead down into the actual firing area. Now this takes batteries because obviously it needs to wind up BBs and send them through there, and it comes there inside just below this feeder area. You can actually just show, you can lift this area up, this sort of metal area here, to get access to that, and what that will give you is the second leader for that. Now I've managed to push mine under here to a little entrance bit at the bottom. See, that's them two together, and you just want to attach that. If I've done it right, if I put it the right way. Nah, I haven't. Typical, eh? There we go. That's not either, eh? Give me a moment. There we are. I'll take you that quick. And so if you've got your batteries in there, that's charged, that's all loaded in. If you put your battery in here, it means when you pull the trigger, the BBs will feed because they're both connected now. So all you need to do last but not least, is lock it in place, and you'll be good to go. Last but not least, you have your sights here. I can send that for sight, but obviously you're not going to be shooting, you know, a few thousand metres out. And there you go, there's your second area. Probably wouldn't be shooting a few thousand metres out with this anyway. So, gun wise, it's, you know, it's a lovely gun. Real wood, where it's needed. For its size, it is a pretty heavy gun, but it's by certainly no means the heaviest I've ever seen. Especially for its size, it's rather, you know, really light, very comfortable to use. The only one thing I would say is when you're holding this, you'll find that if you're not holding it properly, your thumb does get a bit sore from pressing onto the underside of this. But that's, in all honesty, not a big problem. If you're wearing gloves, you shouldn't find that to be extremely bothersome. Now, there's many ways you can carry this gun. Obviously, you've got the bipod there for a reason. You can place it to the ground. If you need it closer, you can easily put it on this bottom side here and keep it at a higher up rate. I'll just do that now, actually, for you. So we pull that out, bring it under, attach it in, push it up. There you go. You can also have it into there if you wanted to keep it closer. With that though, it also means you can, if needed, hold it under, or if you feel like rambling it, you can probably carry it under. But like most bipod weapons, it is made to hold as a bipod machine gun. So it does its job well. It's a lovely piece of gun. It definitely does its job in representing this key piece of weaponry from history. And for the price range, it is a very good gun. For any British users though, it is slightly overpowered. I think it runs into 450, and so obviously as a weapon that's playing a support role, you're probably going to have to downgrade it slightly so it can be playable. But I'm not totally sure that, don't quote me on that. It could be different with each gun. One thing I will say though is, depending where you are as well, I've noticed some of these have a much higher rate of fire than the one I have. This one's not too bad, but I have seen others that fire really good. And so the plan for this in the future, is to obviously downgrade the FPS to a playable range, but upgrade it so the rate of fire is as close to representative of the real MG-42 as best I can make it. So we'll keep a few videos out closer to the future. But a few little things that I would point out. Certain parts of it, especially this front barrel, the receiver itself, and this top hatch actually is another thing. They are slightly wobbly, so don't worry too much about it, but just obviously keep an eye out in case it starts to come a bit too loose. I've noticed as well that this hatch here can come loose. It has come loose on me when I was, you know, taking a look at everything and making sure everything was there. So just watch out about that. Again, some reports have said that the magazine has come in broke. Mine has been fine. I haven't heard too much, you know, clacking around when I was looking at it, so you know, we're all good in that section. One thing else as well, the paint. You know, pulling it out and looking at it around, I actually chipped a bit of the paint off. You know, obviously it's not a big deal, but you know, it's already ruined this, you know, the perfect look that this gun should have. But you know, same with any other gun, any airsoft gun you use. You take good care of it, it's going to take good care of you, and you should find yourself a lot of fun with this toy in the field, and it's definitely worth the price. And you know, to be fair, when you look at modern guns, you know, the MG3 or the Spanish Amelia, I think that's how you pronounce it, apologies. You know, the MG3, I don't think you would go wrong seeing this in a modern kit. You know, if you wanted to run a modern loadout, I think you would find this would fit very comfortably into that loadout, especially if you could find a more metallic or even dark wood replacement stock, because a lot of guns are influenced by this gun. As per mentioned, the MG3 is a good example. That's still in service in the German army. So, you know, it's all around. It's a bloody lovely gun. You know, a good piece of kit, good price for its money, and you know, even if you don't, you know, like that World War II loadout, it does look bloody sexy, and it's sure to get you a few looks on the field by a few of the players. You're sure to get a lot of attention with this gun. But regardless, I'm going to give this probably a 9 out of 10. Bloody good gun. I would definitely recommend it. The front sight here, so top set as mentioned. But no, that's Derp Panda with the first review, first of many, of the AGM machine D.E.R.P. And have a lovely day. Like, rate and subscribe. Leave a comment if you wish. I'll try and answer any questions if possible. This is my first time reviewing anything, so yeah, I'll do my best. Obviously, no promises there, but definitely have a good day, and I'll see you later. Bye.